Every single set release for the last couple years now, we have been giving away an entire master set. We've been putting together a master set. It's been a little bit difficult because we haven't opened up as much as what we normally do. Normally, we're able to open up a couple thousand packs because there's so much supply out there, but that hasn't been the case for the last year. So we've had to buy a lot of singles. We still open up a little bit, just nowhere near how many we used to open up. And we're still going to keep giving them away. We're still going to give subscribers one master set, every single set release. Mega Evolution is the next set, and I just got a package from the Unlucky Collector who does all of the etch work on our binders. So he literally puts together a design for a master set. I think he sells them on his Etsy store, but you can follow him on Instagram at the Unlucky Collector. And every single set release, he designs the binder and ships it to me, and then I get to fill it up with every single card from the newest set. So Mega Evolution, which comes out in less than 3 weeks, I just got in the binder from the Unlucky Collector. So in a few weeks, when the set releases, we'll be able to give this away, but it'll be full. It'll be full with every single common, uncommon, reverse holo, every single ultra rare, mega ultra rare, whatever rarities there are in Mega Evolution. We get to give that away. If you want to win, make sure you're subscribed, turn notifications on, check back on the channel frequently. But we really excited about this. This binder slaps. It's super, super cool. So I'm really excited to give this bad boy away. Do you think Pokemon cards can be fun still? Opening up Pokemon cards, it's difficult, right? Because Pokemon card pack prices are expensive unless you're finding them at MSRP. And let's face it, even MSRP, not as fun as what it used to be. You used to be able to buy booster packs of Pokemon cards for significantly cheaper, and now the chase is to find them at MSRP. But can it still be fun? And we're going to talk about value. There's a ton of information in this video, and I'm going to try and rifle through it as quickly as I can. I apologize if I lose anybody, but I want to talk about if it can still be fun to open up Pokemon cards, specifically Blackbolt and Whiteflare. Blackbolt and Whiteflare, the most recent set that released. We're going to look at pull rate data. We're going to assign sale prices, what each card sells for, and then we're going to determine if it can be fun to open up Blackbolt and Whiteflare. And the reason I say fun is because there's a cost associated with fun, and I think it's really important that you don't only reflect on value, especially when it comes to doing something that's enjoyable. Because let's face it, when you open up Pokemon cards, it's an event, right? You're enjoying yourself. You're creating memories. You're kind of you're embracing, and it's going to be a memory that you create. It's great. It's a fun feeling, especially if you hit something big. If you hit something big, then it's really, really fun. But there is a cost associated with Pokemon cards. When it comes to opening up a booster pack, there is a cost that you paid for that booster pack, whether you buy loose packs, or maybe you bought a booster bundle, or maybe the Victini illustration collection box, or maybe an Elite Trainer box. There's a cost that's associated with each one, and then we break that down by a average pack price, and then we determine the actual average value that you can expect to pull from Blackbolt and Whiteflare booster pack. And that way you can determine, okay, well, going into it, I think that while there's not necessarily, you shouldn't only focus on value, there gets a point where you overspend, and then you're like, well, that wasn't worth it at all. That wasn't, you go to a movie, you spend money on the movie, right? Or maybe you go with family, maybe you go with friends, and you create memories. You create memories with the group of people that you're around, and that can make it worth it still, even if the movie isn't great. But if the movie is bad, if it's really, really bad, and you didn't think it was going to be that bad, it's a huge disappointment, it's a huge letdown, then you're like, well, this cost wasn't worth it. This cost was not worth it to me. It was not fun. I did not enjoy myself. I basically threw money away. Going to a sporting event, going to bowling, any form of entertainment that you do, there's costs associated with it, and you can create memories that help outweigh that cost, but doesn't necessarily fix everything if you overspend on it. And that's kind of what we like to break down in these videos, is determining, okay, what cost is too much? What do I expect to lose on every single pack that I open up? And that's what we're going to do here with Blackbolt and Whiteflare. It's better than I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be a lot of information, so stick with me. I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, please hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like, leave a comment. It goes I cannot tell you, just hitting the like button or commenting, what's up, Fanny? It goes so far to help the reach of the video. Share the video if you like the content. It takes a long time to put this stuff together. You don't have to do any of those things, obviously. I appreciate you just being here, so thank you. Let's take a look. I've been dragging my feet a little bit on putting this data all together for a couple different reasons. Number one is I wanted the market to settle a little bit because blackbolt and whiteflare, it's not old, but it's still, I mean, it's fairly recent, right? And lately, the last several sets that have come out have been very inflated, obviously, upon release, and then the market has not settled as quickly as what it normally does because things are so difficult to find the first couple weeks. So I wanted to wait a little bit, and also there's just there's a lot of work in this. Like, there's a lot of data in this, like looking up prices for every single card. And I did do pretty much just illustration rares, double rares, ultra rares, special illustration rares, and black and white rares. But I also did master balls. Now, I didn't list all master balls individually as far as what name there are. I just wrote down the price point associated with each of them. So you're not gonna, I mean, you probably know which master balls have a little bit more value to them than something else. I didn't do pokeballs because they're all pretty much $1. So I kind of just did a flat rate of $1 on all pokeballs, but I did look up all the pricing for every single master ball as well. But we're only going to look at the names of all the illustration rares, double rares, ultra rares, and special illustration rares, and I'm going to fly through them. If you want to look more deeply into it, you can just pause the video and look at the spreadsheet. But I wanted to put it all out there so that way you had it. It just took a lot of time to do. The problem with blackbolt and whiteflare is there's not anything that's necessarily super competitive as of yet, and there's a multitude of reasons behind that. Number one, we really haven't had any competitive events since blackbolt and whiteflare came out. We had Worlds, which is the biggest competitive event. The thing is, with blackbolt and whiteflare, unless it is in a helping card, unless it is a helpful card like Pheasantipity was with Shrouded Fable last year, a card that helps increase consistency, outside of Genesect, there's really nothing in blackbolt and whiteflare that is really a good support system. A lot of stuff is more, this is what you're going to focus the deck around. So maybe things will change. Maybe things will change once we have Pittsburgh regionals and Milwaukee regionals and other regional events that come up. There's also a lot of blackbolt and whiteflare that have been opened. So there's nothing in the set outside of like a couple ancillary cards. There's a couple ancillary cards in each set in blackbolt and whiteflare that have a little bit of value to them. Some trainer cards like the Hilda, for example, is selling for a couple dollars still. Air Balloon is selling for over $1 still. There's a couple trainers in each set that do have a little bit of value associated with them, and those are important to pull out of bulk. You don't want to put those in your bulk boxes, and you want to move off of them while you can. I know it doesn't seem great to sell on TCG Player, 4 or 5 Hildas. It's only $10. That $10 can make a huge difference. If you're willing to spend $120 on a Seismitoad, but you're not willing to spend $150, which is still probably inflated, if you sell 4 or 5 Hildas, that brings that cost down even further. So it's all stepping stones. Like you said, you sell maybe 4 or 5 Hildas a week or every couple weeks or something like that. That adds up. That adds up to get some of those chasier cards, some of those black-white rares, the monochrome cards that you're looking for. So for the most part, everything double rare wise, $2. When it comes to Black Bolt, everything is $2. Same thing for the Ultras. Not a whole lot of value in the Ultra Rares, especially from Black Bolt. You do have Zekrom coming in at $3.65, and Genesect EX coming in at $3.43, and then Ends Plan at $3.31. The other ones are all $2 a piece. When it comes to special illustration rares, this is where you get a little bit more value, a little bit more bang for your buck. But again, it's tough to pull special illustration rares. Special illustration rares, very similar pull rates in Black Bolt and whiteflare as what we've had since Temporal Forces. So it's going to take you like 2 booster boxes worth of packs. And when that is a specialty set, because there are no booster boxes, you're opening up a lot of ETBs in order to get, I mean, that's 7 to 8 ETBs that you're opening up to get a special illustration. So it's tough. It's not as easy as what it was, at the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet era. So special illustration rares do have a little bit of value to them. The Superior EX currently selling for $44.05. These prices are like 2 days old, so it might have changed, especially with how volatile the market is right now. Some of these may have changed a little bit. Kyurem EX currently selling for $65.87. Zekrom EX, it's the most expensive one for the special illustration rares, $200.95. Meloetta is at $46. Excadrill, the cheapest one, at $28.72. The Genesect EX, a cool card, but also a little bit playable, $65.48. And the Ends Plan, which is a beautiful, beautiful artwork, currently selling for $63.40. And then the black-white rares, most expensive. So the Red Victini, currently selling for $433.78. Again, this is the Black Bolt set, not the whiteflare. And then the Zekrom EX, that monochrome Zekrom EX, $388.28. When it comes to illustration rares, rares, this is where it gets a little difficult because there are so many of them in Black Bolt as well as whiteflare. So we've got 3 rows of special illustration or of illustration rares. That's why we're going to fly through these pretty quick because I don't want this video to take too long, and I want to make sure I get to the most important part of it. So Snivy at 1891, Servine at 1164, Lilligant's in there at 1725. You got a really cheap one with Maractus at 339. There are some cheaper ones. So if you're looking at picking up some cards from Black Bolt and whiteflare, maybe to slowly start working on your master set, and I think that's the way to do it, very slowly. Start picking up some of these cheaper ones. Amoonguss is at 1540. You've got Volcarona in there at $28.30. That's a more expensive one. Time Pull's not bad, and Palpitoad's not bad. Both of them under $6. Seismitoad, still the most expensive one, but look at how far it's cooled off. It's down to $150.45 and continuing to fall a little bit. Obviously, a lot of hype that went up behind that card. Tortuga is at $12.56. $4.93 for the Cryogonal, so that's not too bad on that one. You've got $11.82 on the Tynamo, $22.64 on the Electric, and then the Electros is at $12.28. $5.93 for the Musharna. Solosis is at $12.44. Other than that, I mean, $5.04 for Drillbur isn't bad. Girder's in there at $5.01. Conkeldur's a little bit more expensive at $13.36, but the Throw a little bit cheaper at $4.87. Dwebble $25.37, and then you have got the Crustle at $4.47. So some of these, if you're looking for cards like under $5, now might be the time to start looking a little bit more closely at them. Yeah, they might fall a little bit more. They might drop to, $4 to $3 somewhere around there, but not bad if you're really starting to slowly check off some of these cards. You've got $30.12 on the Melandris, $16.22 on the Scolipede, $28.94 on the Crocodile, only $4.42 on the Clang. The Clink Clang is a little bit more expensive at $11.71. The Cobalion, beautiful artwork on that Cobalion, at $18.63. The Fracture is at $17.23. The Haxorus has dropped a little bit, not still pretty expensive, but it's dropped a decent amount. So that one's down to $38.41. Pidove is at $12.86. Only $4.98 on the Tranquil. Unpheasant is at $11.05. Audinose at $11.61. You've got single digits on all these. Rufflet's only at $5.16. So not too terrible on some of them. A little bit more expensive on a handful of them as well. Maybe you hang off on those. Start focusing on some of the smaller ones. If we move over to whiteflare, again, pretty much the same thing. Obviously, very, very cheap when it comes to the double rares. All bulk pricing at $2 a piece, and pretty much the same for the ultra rares, with the exception of a couple. So the Reshiram is in there at $3.86, but then the most expensive one, by far, I know a lot of people like to focus on the Black Bolt set because it's got that Seismitoad chase in it. And then there's other chase here cards too, obviously, that you want. But odds might be a little bit better in whiteflare because it does increase your average value a little bit when you have a full art that's got a little value to it. Like this Hilda right here, obviously at $12.13. Now that's impacted by playability, right? The very playable card, and that causes that price point to come up a decent amount higher. But $12.13 on that one. It's also got a couple cheaper special illustration rares, so you still get $186.63 out of that Reshiram, but the Whimsicott is at $28.49, so that's relatively inexpensive. Keldeo is at $58.58. The Jellicent is at $45.37. Hydreigon $77.51. The Bouffalant, the cheapest special illustration rare in the entire set at $18.45. That's not bad at all. And then the Hilda, again, playability, $74.61. Obviously a little bit more expensive. The black-white rares in this set more expensive as well. So you've got $447.10 on the Victini, and then the Reshiram EX $412.65. So a little bit more expensive on those black-white rares from whiteflare. But part of that could be because there's not probably, I would assume there's more Black Bolt that's been opened up than whiteflare. More people get excited about Black Bolt than whiteflare. So when it comes to illustration rares, pretty much the same thing. You've got a mix. You don't have that $150 illustration rare, which is what drives people a lot to open up Black Bolt instead of whiteflare. But you still have a bunch of cards that are in the teens. So Waddle in there at $10.33. Livani is at $16.87. Deerling's at $10.65. The Sawsbuck is at $15.59. Verizian's at $12.05. Tepig, not bad at $17.54. Embor is a little bit more expensive. That's $30.19. The Chandelure, my own personal favorite, is at $36.14. But the Heatmore, relatively inexpensive at $4.64. Oshawott at $39.61. The Samurot's in there at $45.52. I believe that is the most expensive one in whiteflare. You've got $13.96 $15.97 on the Vanillux. Joltik's doing pretty good, $19.20. So Joltik's hanging in there, relatively expensive. $15.12 on the Galvantula. Then you've got some cheaper ones here. So $4.34 on the Stunfisk, $6.91 on the Woobat, $6.44 on the Swoobat, $6.52 on the Sigilif, and $5.13 on the Yamask. Cofagrigus is in there at $16.36, not bad. Gothita is at $11.71. Gothorita is at $10.55, and Frillish is at $12.67. Gigalus in there at $17.22. $16.19 on the Terrakion, $15.49 on the Lipard. Scrafty's in there at $11.73. You've got $14.56 on the Garbodor, $19.97 on a very cool Zorua, and the Zoroark's hanging around at $39.27. That's pretty good too. Dino's even at $10.81, so not bad on that one. And then some more inexpensive ones again. So the Ferroseed only at $4.65. Druddigon is at $13.37. Lillipups at $13.94, and Stoutland's in there at $14.69. And then, like I said, we did calculate the average pull rate, or the cost behind every single Master Ball, so that way we could determine. Again, I didn't put the names on here, but I started out looking at all the Black Bolt, and then looking at all the White Flare, and it just kind of goes in order of how expensive each card is. So if we look at the actual pull rate data, now this is the important part of the video. This is what you want to pay more attention to. So this will tell you basically how many you can expect to pull in your Elite Trainer box. So Pokeball Reverse Hollows, you can expect to pull 3.21 out of your Elite Trainer box. You get 2.8 basically it takes 2.8 packs in order to open up one. Master Balls, it's going to take you about 21 packs to open up one. Double Rares, 5.35 packs. So you open up 6 packs, you should get a double rare. Ultra Rares, those full arts there, you're going to have to open up 15 packs, so 14.32 in order to get one full art Ultra Rare. And then Illustration Rares, a little bit better in this set. So it was about 12, takes about 12 packs from the majority or all of the Scarlet and Violet block. But when it comes to Black Bolt and White Flare, they're easier to pull because there are so many of them. 6.37, so about twice as easy to pull, and I think Pokemon probably did that on purpose. Special Illustration Rares, 66.83 packs, so about 2 booster boxes, which is 72 packs. 67 packs will net you 1 Special Illustration Rare, and then the Black White Rare, forget about it, it's about 1 out of 500 packs. So if you want to pull that black, the Reshiram and the Victini from White Flare, if you want to pull the Zekrom and the Victini, you're gonna have to open up over 1,000 packs to pull 2. Now you could pull 2 Victinis, you could pull 2 Zekroms, or you could pull 1 of each, but it's going to take you over 500 packs to pull 1. So then we broke it down per Elite Trainer box and then per booster box. So when we did average pricing, we did average per booster box. And I figured that's a little bit better because that's the equivalent of 4 Elite Trainer boxes or 6 booster bundles. And since we combined Black Bolt and White Flare together, it's not uncommon for you to get 2 of each, 2 Elite Trainer boxes each, or 3 booster bundles of each, and open up that. But this will give you a good understanding of what you want to pay per booster box sample size. There are no booster boxes in Black Bolt or White Flare. It's a specialty set. So Elite Trainer boxes is pretty much the cream of the crop that you're going to be able to find as far as pack contents go. But here, this is the breakdown for it. So if you open up a 36 pack sample size, you are expecting to pull $12.86 worth of value from Pokeball Reverse Hollows. That rarity, that specific rarity. You're going to pull 12.86 of them. They're worth $1 a piece, so $12.86. So when you break it down, the amount of hits that you're going to get per booster box sample size, that's what this is here. So 1.71 Master Balls, 6.73 Double Rares, you'll get 2.51 Ultra Rares, 5.66 Illustration Rares, 0.54 Special Illustration Rares. So even if you open up 36 packs, you're not even guaranteed a Special Illustration Rare. And then Black White Rares, 0.07. And then we associate the average value with each of that rarity. So when it comes to Master Balls, because there is a little bit more value associated with them, $8.32 is the value that you can expect to pull from that booster box sample size. So you open up 36 packs of Black Bolt and White Flare, maybe 18 of each. You'll get about $8.32 worth of value from that Master Ball category. Basically, that means you're only pulling 1 Master Ball. Maybe you'll pull 2, but combined, it's going to yield you about $8.32. The Double Rare category, they're all bulk pricing, right? Every single one of them is bulk pricing. So they're all worth $2 a piece.
You're looking at $13.47 worth of value out of the double rare category. The full art ultra rare category, this gets skewed a little bit by that Hilda. Most of them are going to be only $2. And then you have a couple of them like the Zekrom and the Reshiram, which you could pull. And because Hilda still isn't that expensive, it's not going to skew the data too much. So you're looking at about $7.59. It might skew the data, 10, 15 cents. Not much at all. $7.59 worth of value out of that full art ultra rare category. Illustration rares, this is obviously where you're going to get the most because you're going to get 5.66. You'll probably get 5, but you might get 6. You open up 36 packs, 18 of each. You could get 3 illustration rares from each, from Black Bolt, 3 illustration rares from White Flare. The average value of those is going to be $68.38. Yeah, one you might pull could be the Seismitoad, it could be the Cobalion, it could be the Zoroark, that could help you a lot. But you could pull 6 illustration rares that are only worth, $4 or $5, somewhere around there. That's why it's an average. So $68.38 is really the average that you should expect going into it. Special illustration rares is very possible that you don't pull one. But that's why the average is so low, $38.63, because you could pull the Zekrom, you could pull the Reshiram, but you could pull the Buffalant, you could pull the Jellicent, which is a little bit less expensive, the Meloetta, which is a little bit less expensive, so $38.63. And the black white rare category adds $30.20. This is super skewed because you're probably not going to get one because it takes 500 packs. You could get lucky and pull one. That's why the average is way lower than what the actual value is of the product. But I think this is a good barometer to go by because it does factor in that fund cost variant where, yeah, you could pull that $30.20 worth of value. You could pull more than that, obviously. If you pull one, it's going to be 7 times that amount, but you might not pull it. So can you have, there's a cost associated with that entertainment. So if we break this down per box, what does that all mean? So your average value, what you do is you add all these numbers together, this $12.86 all the way through $30.20, and you can see the average value right here is $179.45. This is the average value you can expect opening up a 36-pack sample size. So if you go out, you buy 6 booster bundles, you find them at MSRP, which is great. 3 Black Bolt, 3 White Flare, you open them all up, you should expect about $180 worth of value out of those booster bundles. That breaks down to $4.98 per pack. So that's your goal price point, $4.98. So you open up a booster pack of Black Bolt and White Flare or White Flare, you should get $4.98 worth of value on average. Yeah, you're going to open up several packs that have little to no value, but then you'll open up several packs that have more than $4.98 worth of value. So your current pack cost, though, is high. Black Bolt and White Flare. Black Bolt is a little bit more expensive than White Flare. I just did kind of an average, $8.05. So about $8 is what it costs you if you buy it on the secondary market. And that's because it's tough to find on the MSRP. It's tough to find on the retail shelves, right? Like you go to Target, you go to Walmart, unless you're sitting in a restock line, it's difficult to find a booster bundle of Black Bolt or White Flare. Like it's very difficult to find. So the average pack cost, the current pack cost on the secondary market is $8.05. That means every time you open up a booster pack of Black Bolt or White Flare, you can expect to throw away $3.07. So can you have $3.07 worth of fun opening up a singular booster pack? That's the problem right now with opening up Pokemon cards is if you go out and you buy a Black Bolt or White, let's say you go to a card show and you find a Black Bolt booster pack for $8, you give them $8, you can basically expect that $3 of those dollars is just garbage. You just threw away $3 because you're only expected to pull $4.98 on average. Obviously, like I said before, most of the packs you open up are going to be considerably less than that. It's an average for a reason. It's not bad for the Victini box. Because the Victini box has the promo card in it, which is actually doing really well, selling for close to that $14 mark. So let's say $13 on that Victini promo, and then you get 2 packs of each. Well, the packs are valued at $8 a piece, so $32 worth of packs, plus that's $55. The value per box, if you just buy it at, you factor in this average pack cost of what you want, then you move off of the Victini box. So if you can find a Victini box for relatively inexpensive, if you can find an MSRP, even better. But that Victini promo alone brings that value down, where your average pack cost is only going to be $4.98, which is what your target pack price is, which is really, really good. I did have on here Prismatic Evolution pull rates as well, if you want to compare it to that. I also put Ground Zenith pull rates because a lot of people compare things to that. If you want a specific black and white rare, you're going to have to open up 1,000 packs of Black Bolt or 1,000 packs of whiteflare to get either the Victini or the Reshiram or the Zekrom, depending on which one you're chasing. If you want a specific special illustration rare, let's say you're chasing that Genesect, or let's say you're chasing that Ends Plan, it's going to take you about 468 packs to get it. Special illustration rare, or if you're a specific illustration rare, let's say you're chasing that Seismitoad from Black Bolt, it's going to cost you about 439 packs in order to find it. Obviously at $8 a piece, you're spending $3,300 to try and pull that Seismitoad versus just buying it, biting the bullet and buying it. I would wait, but biting the bullet and buying it. Specific Master Ball, forget about it. $1,520. I don't know why anybody would chase a specific Master Ball at this point anymore. But if you were chasing a specific Master Ball, it would be 1,520 packs, which is insane. So this information I think is very, very important to put in things into perspective for you as far as what to expect when you open up a booster pack and why it's so important to buy at MSRP when you're opening up cards. A lot of people get frustrated when I say don't buy above MSRP. And I'm not saying you shouldn't buy above MSRP if you're a sealed collector, if you're somebody who's like, I want to hold this for long term, like really long term. Then buying above MSRP, buying closer to market, like that's fine. Like do whatever you want. But if you're here to crack packs, if you want to enjoy pack ripping with some friends or some family members or just yourself, you just want to enjoy it. It is very, very detrimental to your hobby, your experience in the hobby, to pay above MSRP unless money is super liquid for you and you can have it coming in going all the time without any problem. And there's people like that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you, every time you open up a booster pack of Black Bolt and Whiteflare, if you're focusing on the value, which it's fine to, just don't only focus on the value. You can expect to throw away $3.07 every single time. That's a decent chunk, $3.07. So if you open up a 36-pack sample size, you are looking at throwing away, $200. Can you have $200 worth of fun opening up 36 packs with your kids or your friends or whatever the case may be? That's up to you to decide. But I want to provide the information so that way you have it, so that way you can make the best decision when it comes to spending your collection dollars. So I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, a lot of data in here, a lot of pull rate data, but this gives you the average. Now, obviously, everybody's experience is going to be different. You might have opened up Black Bolt and Whiteflare and been like, oh yeah, Fanny, well, I pulled the red Victini and I pulled the black Reshiram, so I'm way up. I had so much fun. That's great. That's an outlier, and that's going to happen. And you may have opened up 36 packs and you could have pulled, like, your best hit could have been, I don't know, the Dino illustration rare, which was $10. So everybody's experience is going to be different. You're going to have a lot of outliers that are severely different than the average, but it's an average for a reason. Most of the people are going to fall around this category right here of $4.98 per pack, or about $180 worth of value per 36 pack sample size. So I think it's important information to have. I hope you do as well. If you liked the data, please hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like, leave a comment, share the video. Anything you do just goes a really long way. But ultimately, I really just appreciate you guys being here. I love talking about this stuff. It took a long time to put together, but I think it's important information. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Till next time, peace.